The chilling Nazi human experiments. The horrors of Dr. Mengele. January 27, 1945. The Soviet Red Army marches through the frozen gates of Auschwitz. What they find is beyond comprehension. Thousands of emaciated prisoners, hollow eyes filled with terror, and scattered remnants of something far worse. In abandoned medical barracks, surgical tools are left in a hurry. Papers are burned, files destroyed. But the truth cannot be erased. One name echoes through the walls of Auschwitz, the name of a man known to prisoners as the Angel of Death, Dr. Josef Mengele. His experiments were some of the most horrifying in human history. But what was he trying to achieve? Was it all about eugenics, medical progress, or was there a darker, more sinister agenda behind his work? Tonight, we uncover the horrifying truth behind Mengele's experiments and the mystery of why they were conducted. Scene 2. Who was Dr. Josef Mengele? Josef Mengele was not an ordinary doctor. Born in 1911 in Germany, he excelled in anthropology and medicine, eventually earning a PhD in genetics. From a young age, he was drawn to racial science and eugenics, believing that biology could be used to create an ideal human race. His ideas were shaped by the rising influence of Nazi ideology, which sought to purify German bloodlines and eliminate those deemed genetically inferior. Mengele was ambitious, intelligent, and ruthlessly loyal to the Third Reich. He joined the SS, Schutzstaffel, in 1938, aligning himself with the Nazi regime's racial policies. His medical expertise made him a valuable asset, and he quickly caught the attention of high-ranking Nazi officials. He was particularly influenced by Dr. Ottmar von Verschuer, a leading eugenicist who mentored Mengele in the study of hereditary traits, twins, and racial superiority. In 1943, Mengele was promoted and assigned to Auschwitz, the largest Nazi concentration and extermination camp. This was more than just a job. It was an opportunity. At Auschwitz, he had unlimited access to human test subjects, allowing him to conduct experiments without ethical restrictions. His arrival at the camp coincided with a turning point in the Holocaust, as the Nazis accelerated mass exterminations and sought more efficient methods of execution and biological control. Unlike many other Nazi officials who worked behind the scenes, Mengele was highly visible and active at Auschwitz. Prisoners quickly learned to fear him, as he personally oversaw the selection process on the arrival ramp. As Jewish men, women, and children stepped off the cattle cars, Mengele stood at the center, casually pointing left or right, a simple gesture that determined who would be sent to the gas chambers and who would be subjected to his experiments. Despite the horrors he inflicted, Mengele carried himself with an unsettling charm. Survivors recall him as calm, well-dressed, and disturbingly polite, even as he sent thousands to their deaths. Some prisoners saw him as a man who played God, deciding who lived and who died with a mere flick of his wrist. He often whistled classical music as he performed his duties, adding an eerie sense of detachment to his actions. Among Nazi leadership, Mengele was respected but not widely known outside of scientific and SS circles. Unlike figures like Himmler, Goebbels, or Eichmann, Mengele operated more in the shadows. However, within the SS medical community, he was viewed as a brilliant but ruthless scientist, someone who was willing to push the boundaries of medicine in ways others wouldn't dare. Himmler, in particular, supported Mengele's work, believing that medical advancements could strengthen the German military and aid in the ultimate goal of racial purification. There is little evidence to suggest that Hitler personally knew Mengele well, but Hitler strongly supported eugenics-based research and medical experimentation that aligned with Nazi racial ideology. Mengele's work fit perfectly within this vision, making him an important, if not widely publicized, figure in the Nazi machine. But his research went beyond genetics. He was searching for something more: the limits of human suffering, the ability to control life and death, and the dark secrets of the human body. The question is, why? Scene 3. The horrifying experiments. What was Mengele trying to achieve? Mengele's twisted experiments were designed to push the boundaries of medical science, but many believe they were more than just science. They were an attempt to create a biologically superior race, manipulate the human body, and perhaps even weaponize medicine itself. One of Mengele's obsessions was identical twins. He conducted thousands of experiments on twin children, most of them under the age of 10. He would inject mystery substances into their eyes, attempting to change eye color, possibly in a bid to artificially engineer the Aryan master race. He would deliberately infect one twin with a disease, then kill the other to compare their bodies in autopsy, searching for some unknown genetic connection between siblings. What was he hoping to find? A way to alter human genetics? A way to create disease-resistant superhumans? The real purpose behind these experiments remains a chilling mystery. Further, in sub-zero temperatures, prisoners were stripped naked and submerged in ice water. Others were left outside, fully exposed to the elements, while Nazi doctors monitored how long it took for them to freeze to death. Why? Officially, the Nazis claimed they were testing ways to keep German soldiers alive in extreme cold. But was that the real goal? Some historians believe these cold endurance experiments were also a study on pain tolerance, brain function under hypothermia, and even ways to induce a suspended animation state. Could Mengele have been searching for ways to manipulate the human body's survival instincts? Shock and trauma. How much pain can a human withstand? Mengele performed surgeries without anesthesia, amputations, organ removals, and even sewing body parts together in cruel attempts at mutation. One report describes an experiment where prisoners were given massive electrical shocks to measure how much their bodies could withstand before they died. Was Mengele trying to discover how far the human nervous system could be pushed? Was there a deeper purpose, one connected to pain resistance, brain function, or even mind control? Then there were blood experiments. Could they create super soldiers? Some of Mengele's most disturbing experiments involved blood transfusions. He conducted tests where blood from one prisoner was drained and replaced with the blood of another, often from different blood types. The results were catastrophic: agonizing deaths, massive organ failure. Why was Mengele so obsessed with blood? Some believe he was searching for ways to enhance soldiers, create immunity to disease, or even artificially increase strength and endurance. Was the Nazi regime trying to create something beyond a master race? Were they trying to build an army of biologically enhanced warriors? Scene 4. The mystery. What was Mengele really trying to do? On the surface, Mengele's experiments were part of Nazi eugenics and racial studies, but some historians believe he was looking for something else entirely: creating the perfect human. Was Mengele trying to discover the exact genetic formula for an Aryan super race? Extreme survival research. Could his findings have led to Nazi plans for ultra-resistant soldiers? Biological warfare and mind control. Was Mengele testing how the human body and brain could be manipulated for darker purposes? Even after the war, much of Mengele's research disappeared. Was it destroyed, or was it secretly used in other scientific programs? Scene 5. Mengele's escape. Why was he never caught? As the war ended, many Nazi officials were captured, tried, and executed, but Josef Mengele vanished. For decades, the world searched for him. He fled to Argentina, then Brazil, using fake identities. Despite multiple sightings, he was never arrested. Some believe he was protected, possibly by powerful allies who wanted his research. Mengele reportedly drowned in Brazil in 1979, but conspiracy theories remain. Some claim he lived much longer. Others suggest his research continued in secret programs long after the war. Did Mengele take his secrets to the grave, or is his legacy still influencing modern science in ways we don't fully understand? Scene 6. The aftermath. Was Mengele's work ever used? Many of Mengele's findings were horrific, unethical, and outright sadistic. But disturbingly, after the war, some Nazi medical research was secretly used by other governments. Operation Paperclip brought Nazi scientists to the United States, where their work influenced medical, aerospace, and psychological studies. Cold resistance and pain threshold research contributed to modern hypothermia treatments and endurance studies. Some blood transfusion techniques and organ transplant studies, even those developed through horrific means, were later applied in legitimate science. The question remains, should any knowledge gained from such atrocities ever be used? Scene 7. Conclusion. The dark legacy of Mengele. Josef Mengele remains one of the most infamous war criminals in history. His experiments were beyond cruel. They were crimes against humanity. But what was his true purpose? Was he just a sadistic doctor with unchecked power? Or was he pursuing something much darker? Something that still remains hidden? One thing is certain. The world was never meant to see the full extent of Mengele's research. Here on Legends Unveiled, we explore the darkest chapters of history, the mysteries hidden in the past, and the unanswered questions that still haunt us today. What do you think about Josef Mengele's experiments? Was his work truly destroyed, or did his twisted knowledge survive in ways we may never fully understand? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another journey into the unknown. Right here on Legends Unveiled.